Ben 10, Protector of Earth was released in 2007 by High Voltage Software and published by D3 Publisher. Based on the hugely popular Cartoon Network series Ben 10, at the time, the franchise was at its peak, especially among younger audiences. And this game aimed to bring Ben's alien transforming action to consoles like the Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 2, and PSP. The story is a non-canon adventure set within the original Ben 10 universe. Ben loses access to most of his Omnitrix transformations after a mysterious energy surge, forcing him to gradually recover his powers while facing classic villains such as Vilgax, Kevin 11, and the Forever Knights. Narratively, the plot is simple and functional. It exists mainly to justify gameplay progression rather than to tell a deep or emotional story. Still, it stays faithful to the tone of the cartoon and includes recognizable characters and locations, which helps fans feel connected to the show. Strength: faithful to the Ben 10 universe. Weakness: shallow story with little character development. The gameplay is a 3D beat-em-up action-adventure, heavily inspired by titles like Devil May Cry and God of War, but simplified for a younger audience. On the Wii, combat makes use of motion controls, allowing players to punch, swing, and perform special attacks with the Wii Remote. While this was exciting in theory, in practice the motion controls are imprecise and inconsistent, often making traditional button-based combat feel more reliable. Ben can transform into a limited set of aliens, each with unique abilities. Heat Blast for ranged fire attacks, for arms for heavy combat, XL8 for speed-based challenges, Cannonbolt for rolling attacks, Wild Vine for environmental puzzles. Combat is repetitive, enemy variety is limited, and level design is very linear. However, for its target audience, the gameplay is accessible and easy to understand. Positives: easy to learn, fun alien switching system, good variety in abilities. Negatives: repetitive combat, weak enemy AI, motion controls lack precision. Graphically, the game uses a cel-shaded art style that tries to mimic the cartoon. While character models are recognizable, animations are stiff and environments lack detail. On the Wii, performance is stable but visually dated, even for 2007 standards. The game looks closer to a late PS2 title than a true next-generation experience. Strength: cartoon-accurate art style. Weakness: simple environments and rough animations. The soundtrack is serviceable but forgettable. It mostly consists of generic action themes that lack the memorable identity of the TV series. Sound effects and voice clips are acceptable, but many voices are reused or sound compressed. There is little musical variation between stages, which contributes to the feeling of repetition. Positive: functional sound design. Negative: unmemorable music. One of the biggest criticisms of Protector of Earth is the absence of all 10 original aliens. Instead of the full roster, players only get 5 transformations. For a franchise literally named Ben 10, this was a major disappointment. While the limitation may have been due to development time, budget constraints, or hardware limitations, it significantly reduced variety and replay value. This decision directly impacted fan reception, especially among players who expected to use aliens like Upgrade, Gray Matter, or Ripjaws. In 2007, licensed games were still largely seen as cash grabs, and Ben 10, Protector of Earth, followed that trend. However, it was also one of the first console Ben 10 games, helping establish the franchise in the gaming industry. Commercially, the game was successful due to the brand's popularity, proving that cartoon-based franchises could sell well even with modest production values. It also paved the way for improved sequels like Alien Force and Vilgax Attacks, which addressed many of its shortcomings. Ben 10, Protector of Earth Wii is a fun but flawed licensed game. It delivers basic, accessible action and captures the spirit of the cartoon, but suffers from repetitive gameplay, limited alien selection, and shallow design. For fans of Ben 10, it's a nostalgic experience. For general players, it's a mediocre beat-em-up that doesn't fully use the potential of the franchise or the Wii hardware. Pros, faithful to the Ben 10 universe. Accessible gameplay. Unique alien abilities. Cons. Only 5 aliens instead of 10. Repetitive combat, weak motion controls, forgettable soundtrack. Overall, a product of its time, enjoyable for fans, but limited in ambition. Tell me, do you like this game? What more other games do you want to review in our channel? Comment below and subscribe. See you around for more golden reviews.